Paul Goodison, helmsman on America today on New York Yacht Club American Magic. Paul, can you tell us a little bit how was the day? We saw very challenging conditions from the northeast.
Oh, it was great to get back out in some bigger waves. We've been kind of spoilt a little bit recently here in Barcelona with a quite flat southwesterly sea breezes to go out today and have it a bit further round to the north and have a much bigger sea state is a real good reality check for where we are, and also checking out the foils in those conditions, how they compare against each other a little bit.
When talking about today, how much was it, let's say, survival, and how much you were in reality able to test in between the two boats, in between the different foils?
I think we weren't really in survival. It was saleable, but the biggest part is how hard you push, because you see from inside and outside that as soon as the boat's touching down, has one or two big touchdowns. It doesn't matter how much you gain in the 100 meters before. It's getting the right fine balance between pushing the boat to go as fast as it can, but also having that small part of forgiveness built into the setup, so that when you do touch down, it doesn't slow you down so much, and you get going a bit quicker.
Is there a way in which you can sail on safe modes on these boats, especially when going downwind, or you have to go at full speed and that's the safest way of avoiding ventilation and nosedives?
Yeah, I think the biggest way is to commit. You got to go fast and push the boat hard. You can obviously back off a little bit with the trim to make it a bit more forgiving for when you touch down, but you've really got to put your foot down and go fast.
Then when talking about the foils, we saw many changes on the different foils, and we also saw changes in between boats. What's the goal for this week? What are you planning to test specifically?
We've been doing one foil against the other, and it's just a case of rotating them around so that we put different foils against each other. So it's again just to get a feel for performance against different combinations.
And then during these 3 or 4 weeks with the American Magic, we noticed that there is a lot of rotation in between the crew, combining different trimmers with different helms and getting trimmers on one boat, then on the other, and also switching in between helms. What's the objective of switching so much?
The other part is there's obviously, as you're assessing a foil, a lot of it comes down to the data to see which is the fastest, but that's processed afterwards. But there's also a lot of sailor feel. So the whole idea is that each sailor has a go with a different foil, different combination, and when you swap on a same day, you get a feel for one versus the other, just so we can provide a little bit more feedback for the designers, and then decide where to go next.
Josh Jr., you remember the sailing team here with Emirates Team New Zealand, but I think today you were hopping between the chase boat and the yacht itself looking at numbers. That's what I was told. What were you up to today?
Yeah, exactly. I was on the chase boat today. It was quite a bit wavier than it has been for the last few weeks, and it's not that comfortable on the chase boat. So I got on the yacht, and we're lucky enough we've got a spare spot on our boat, so you can jump in and have a look around. Yeah, and just it's great to see the boat out in a bit of waves and get sailing.
Now, it was pretty wavy out there, pretty uncomfortable on the motorboat side of things, but the yacht seemed to be dealing with it pretty comfortably. Takeoff looked pretty smooth.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going well. There was plenty of breeze today, so it's never too challenging to take off. Got plenty of power to push through the waves and get going. So yeah, boat was going well, and you know, it's certainly, once you're foiling above the waves, it's a lot more fun than slamming on top of them in a coach boat.
It did look slightly different though to the very smooth, very accurate sailing we've seen over previous days when the sea's been flat, breeze has been quite a lot lower. What are the challenges for the crew when you have this kind of very lumpy sea state? Because it was pretty steep, the sea today.
Yeah, exactly. It was actually very choppy. It was kind of rebounding off the beach and the break ball here. So it was quite short and it was standing up quite steep. yeah, it would have been fun in some small boats, you know, surfing down the waves. But in these things, you're going so fast, you're flying above it, and of course your foil's going, you know, through the waves so fast that it's hard to keep up. So, you know, it gets a little bit difficult just where to place the foil for the wave, whether you're at the top or the bottom of it, and how you deal with that.
Who has the extra hardest job on the boat when it's like this? Is the flight controller, the helmsman, trimmers?
Cyclists, probably.
Beyond the cyclist?
You know, all the roles are challenging. Everyone on the boat's doing, you know, pretty tough role. So, and it takes the full team to come together and sail the boat well in those conditions. So, yeah, it's you know, it's great for us to get out in some challenging conditions and try and be more accurate.
When you hopped on the boat, you said you were looking at some numbers, trying to help out generally. What sort of things were you looking at specifically? You know, I don't want you to tell me the numbers, but what were you looking at? Foils, sails?
Every now and then I like to poke my head over the side and have a look at the foils. It's always interesting on a wavy day. But yeah, sails always cool, you know. Yeah, and just how the guys are sailing the boat, what the boat feels like. So it's just always interesting to be on the boat, and as I said, it's a lot more comfortable than the chase boat. So.
With Maxime, helmsman on board Alinghi Red Bull Racing. The day started with some rain, good wind conditions from the northeast and confusing sea state. You had a 4-hour sailing session around 70 nautical miles, 2 different jib configurations and long legs upwind and downwind with plenty of maneuvers. What was the objective and what can you extract from today's session?
So yeah, today, as you said, it was again the wavy Barcelona and the shifty wind. So it was very nice to be back there on the wave, and very useful for the team. And yeah, we are very happy about how we sailed today. We improved a lot on the flat water last summer. So now just being back on the wave, we saw that we are a bit more confident, and this is very nice for the team.
Nice. And we saw you doubting in the beginning about the head sail chains. Can you give me an example of what is the wind range window for the J3?
So yeah, we were like trying 2 sails, the J3 and J4, and just to see the wind, what was the crossover. But today the wind was so shifty that for sure we didn't find the crossover today.
And who's making the call for the jib changes in general? Is the trimmer on board? It's from the chase boat, or it's a combined decision?
It's more about all the team choosing for that, and yeah, the final call is always probably Brian or Arno.